Then I had a, oh my God, here we go already.
Live,
Rise
we're
and
live.
shine. Dan, you hit the button early, man. So rise and shine. It's Smurl World card time. And Dan, the great curator, he's got his drink on. I've got my shirt that I just got back from St. Lucia. This is Piton. These are the mountains that go up, in the island. That's their icon of St. Lucia, and that's where the nicest resort is. Luckily, unfortunately, I haven't sold enough cards to afford the Viceroy. I think one of my fans on Instagram's posted on it that he stays at that Sugar Beach Viceroy. That's $3,000 a night. I'm not there quite yet, but we did snorkel right there at that resort, which was beautiful. Some of the best snorkeling I've ever done. We also did some zip line, and more importantly, just got a lot of R&R, just laid at the beach, laid at the pool. It was all inclusive, so we ate a lot, and I drank a lot, not as much as I usually do. I'm trying to watch my girlish figure for Dallas, but we had
Sales,
a
guys.
great. Oh,
It
in the
sells.
mud. If you see me on Instagram, I've got the
That was
volcanic
crazy.
mud, and my God, my skin felt
Did they
like
do that
20
to
years
you?
younger. No, I did to myself. Well,
Oh,
yeah, there
okay.
was a person there that was like, "Oh, you need to paint you up," and I was like, "Sure, let's do it."
That looked like some type of crazy like rainforest tribe ritual where you're about to go hunting or something. It
Yeah,
was
it was like
crazy.
Apocalypse Now or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we had a great time. It was a long flight, like 10 hours. A lot of Brits, since it's I guess a British island,
Mhm.
colonized island. So there was a lot of British coming, a lot of families there from England, and it's actually closer to them than it is for us
Now let me
because it was
ask you,
almost 10
while
hours.
while you were there, were you completely unplugged or did you
Yeah.
do any hobby related stuff?
No, but I did get on ComC one day at the pool. I was just surfing, and I made a little kind of a big purchase on a card that I thought was a
Oh,
great deal, and the
oh,
person
you
gave me the
buying stuff
deal.
on ComC.
I
That's
bought a really nice
is it a
soccer
secret?
card.
Is it a
No, I can
secret?
show you if you want to know right
Yeah, I
now.
want to know.
It is let's see, I actually got two items from that ComC purchase. Um, as you know, I was watching the football game. Everybody knows my alma mater, my undergrad alma mater is University of Tennessee. And the guy who's right now the number one Heisman candidate is the quarterback for Tennessee, Hendon Hooker. So I needed to get an autographed card of Hendon Hooker. This isn't
Okay.
the big purchase, though.
I
This
was
is
I was
very,
about to
this is
say
under,
I was about to give you this.
yeah.
Wow.
Don't worry, Dad. But Tennessee fans, this is $1 million to Tennessee fans right now,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I got this for over less than $100. Was his very first, NIL card from Wild Card, autographed, so it's pretty nice. In his
Oh.
Tennessee uniform, unfortunately, since they're not licensed, they take the T off the helmet. But the big purchase I saw, and the guy made me a deal, and I went back and started looking at the eBay prices, and this card actually was selling on auction at the time with Probstein, and I was like, dude, I can't miss. I have to buy this card. And anybody who knows soccer, this is his very first sticker card just a few years ago, and here it is: Erling Holland, PSA
Ooh.
10 Panini.
Now, is that the rare version?
Yes, yes.
Like because it's
Mm-hmm.
like gray or something? Like what makes that the
Mm-hmm.
rare version?
I forget. I think it's the gray. I believe it
Okay.
is. Fans, if y'all know, let
Because
leave a
I've heard
comment.
Brian talk about that card.
Yeah, so I had to get this card, and I got the card.
That's his
So
rookie sticker. What year is that?
2019
2019. Wow.
Panini from Fußball Bundesliga, number
I need
32,
I
and
am
this was going for like $2,000, and I got it for. It was one of those things where it wasn't listed on eBay, but it was on ComC.
yeah.
I don't know how that works because I can't do that. So if y'all know how to just put things just on ComC but on eBay, let me know. Or if you can't even
Yeah.
do that at all, I don't know how it works. But this was just sitting there in ComC, and I made an offer, and I got this for almost half the price it went for Probstein
I
that
feel
day.
like I need to get into a little bit more soccer. You know, I keep seeing everything that Brian's doing, and I feel like I need to get in on that game. I need to get in on that soccer action just a little bit. I don't want to go all out on it, but just a little bit. And if I'm going to buy anybody, it's going to be Holland for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that how you the correct pronunciation?
I have no idea.
Holland or Holland?
Holland.
I don't
I thought it
know.
was Holland. Holland.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
so speaking of, can I ask real quick? How you've heard from Brian? How's he doing in the card show in England?
Apparently, he's having the best time of his life. I watched his vlog, or I watched Troy's vlog.
Yeah, I did too.
Show, and they're claiming that London card show. If you guys didn't know, our friend Brian, Sunday League investor, is currently in Europe attending card shows. He went to the London card show over the weekend, and I think he's going to one in like Munich, Germany next week. But apparently it's better than the National. He claims. You know, he's saying that the soccer action out there is better than the National. So,
oh my goodness.
That's interesting for sure. I can't wait for him to come back. I can't wait to see his vlog.
I know.
On it to see what kind of deals or how they do deals out there. But that's kind of giving me a little bit of FOMO. We might have to.
I know,
right?
We
might have to go out to London next year, Merlin.
But you got to bring like F1 and soccer cards. And I heard like Marvel and Star Wars was actually doing pretty well over there too.
I'm just curious to see how it is.
I think Gingy Man was there too.
Yeah, and I think I heard from Gingy Man that there wasn't much Marvel out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
and so the stuff that was popular.
I don't know. I haven't heard much.
That's what I heard from Troy. It sounded like Troy said that, but I'm not.
Yeah, I haven't heard much from those guys other than just what I just shared with you right now. But
good Lord,
we might have to go out there next year. We'll see. We'll see when the schedule is.
Yeah. I mean, I know I saw a lot of basketball going around, but do they like American football? Or do they like wrestling? Because a lot of the Brits, all the wrestling YouTubers are British. I noticed when I watch YouTube.
I think that could be our niche. If we go out there, I think that could be our thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to bring a little bit of soccer, so I might have to buy a little bit of soccer and bring it out there. But I think Marvel and wrestling could do well out there.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, but anyways, what was I saying about Haaland? Yeah, I think if I'm gonna buy anybody, I would pick him over like Mbappe, who is the other young stud that everybody keeps talking about, right? If you're not gonna buy Messi or Ronaldo, you're either buying Mbappe or Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland's been scoring like a goal like every match.
Yeah, that guy's
Man City. He's been going off.
Crazy. So that would be who I would be buying if I'm buying soccer at all. But I don't know. I might buy like one really nice one if I can find like a refractor or an auto rookie card that's within my budget. I think I might try to go for something like that just to have it.
Yeah. Another soccer card I've been investing also in is Vinicius Jr. And this is like his like true sticker rookie from 2017. And he's for the Brazilian team and for Real Madrid. And I think he's going to get a lot of notice during the World Cup for Brazil.
It's going to be interesting to see how the card market reacts during the World Cup.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll be paying attention for sure. It'll be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see what will happen after the World Cup. So we'll probably talk about it a little bit on this channel. We don't do a lot of soccer, but we'll probably be talking about it.
And it's funny because people y'all might know. I know y'all know most of us as pop culture guys, but I also collect a lot of soccer.
He does. He's got it. Merlin, you collect everything.
I do. I collect everything.
We've kind of been like pigeonholed in the pop culture space,
Yes, we have.
But
I was like, dude, I got to start buying some sports again.
I'm more focused on pop culture stuff, but you actually have everything. If you guys don't know, if you ever see us at shows, I usually have 2 cases. Merlin has at least 4 cases, and in all 4 of his cases, he's got a mix of sports, music, wrestling, Marvel, entertainment, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Everything, yeah. And then other sports, golf, tennis.
Right. Yeah,
like,
you really have a little bit of everything. For sure.
So I meant but you collect like other things too. You have comics, you have toys. I meant when I go to your house, it's kind of like a museum to me. I can't
Yeah.
quit staring at Dan's house and his room for everything he has, and he
Yeah.
just starts explaining what this is.
I collect a lot of stuff, and I've been toying with the idea of bringing different things to card shows. Um, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. Like if I started bringing comics or action figures or things like that, I think I could shake things up a little bit. The same way that I shook things up when I started bringing Marvel, I think I could do the same thing with my other stuff. But I don't think the card scene is ready for that yet. I don't think they're ready for it.
So why do you think we collect so much?
Well, you know, that's an interesting question because I was just thinking about this today. I feel like for us, like it's just that it's because we're collectors. You know,
Hmm.
we're like hoarders basically. We love collecting things, and you don't understand this. Like for some people that are in the hobby that are not actual collectors, they're just flippers or people that aren't even really in the hobby, but they're like trolls and they commentate on the hobby for as fun. They might know a little bit about it, but they're not true collectors. Only true collectors know the what's the word I'm looking for? The feeling of addiction for having to buy things, right? Like you see something and something inside of you just says, I want it. You know, I need it, even though you don't need any of these things. And even though these things just pile up, and a lot of times we buy so much stuff that we end up just storing it in our closet
Hmm.
or in a box or something, right? We don't even properly display it. But true collectors know that feeling of like, oh man, I just need to buy this. When something new comes out, I need to buy it. When you see something on eBay, you're scrolling late at night on eBay and you see something that catches your attention, you just need to buy that. I don't know
Hmm.
why. It's just this weird like it's like almost like this it's truly an addiction, but it's almost like a disease where it's like we just have to buy things all the time. And I keep telling myself, I need this. I keep telling myself, okay, don't buy this crap. Consolidate your collection, do this and that. But I just keep finding myself everywhere I go on eBay or if I'm at Target and I'm walking down the toy aisle or whatever. I just see things. I'm like, man, I need that. I need that. And it just sticks in my head. And it's an itch that needs to be scratched constantly. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised your family hasn't had an intervention yet.
Well, that's how this whole thing started. Like a lot of people, you know, I've shared this story before, but the reason I got into cards is because I was collecting toys really heavily, um, leading a couple years before I got into cards, and my wife was like, "Look, there's too much crap in here. There's too many boxes. Okay, you can't." You display all this stuff. Stop wasting money. If you're gonna go buy something like a comic book or a piece of art that
Okay.
has value, right? So she started me down that path, and the reason that I've kind of leaned into cards heavily is just because the convenience of storing cards. They don't take up that much space. You could have a very expensive collection. You could have hundreds of cards, but they can still fit, you know, in like a few boxes and they don't take up as much real estate as like toys or art or other big collectibles and things like that. So
Hmm.
that's one of the main reasons that's what's really keeping me in the card market right now is just the practicality of collecting cards over everything else. But like I love toys, man. I really love toys and I want to buy so many different toys, but I have to really stop myself because I just don't have room. Like my office, it doesn't even look like an office anymore. It looks like a hoarder's, you know, a hoarder's
Yeah.
cave. Here, I just show you like just some of the
The
things in here.
collector's cave.
Like you can see all these.
Oh my
There's toys
gosh.
here. There's there's toys in boxes that I can't even open, right? And I put them against the wall. I have to buy extra shelves to carry all my
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
Yeah, and I was just thinking like this, like only collectors really know this pain.
Hmm.
This dilemma that we face. Like we always have to buy more and more and more. It's hard to sell. It's hard to get rid of things. It's hard to consolidate your collection, but you just always want to buy more. You know what I mean? It's just like it's that itch that needs to be constantly scratched. So I don't think I can ever get out of it. The only way that I could ever really stop is if I quit cold turkey. If I don't buy anything ever again, I have to quit cold turkey and I have to go do something. I have to find something else that occupies my time. Like I don't know. Um, I don't know, get another job or
Play
I don't know,
golf.
yeah, play golf or get into working out or something like that. But that's the only way that I can stop
Man, I can't
this.
wait to get back to working out.
Because I was just thinking, like, man, I'm like constantly looking on eBay, constantly trying to buy things, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, I need to stop. But the only way that I can stop is if I quit cold turkey, and I can't do that because I've invested so much of my life the last 2 years in the hobby and building content and all this stuff. So I'm in it, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
you're in
in
to
too
win
deep.
it.
I'm in too deep to get out now. But if I were
Because
to
if you
get
quit
out,
doing it, you're not going to have any content anymore.
yes, that's my excuse, right? Everything is for content now. That
I
is the
know.
excuse. But the only way that I can really get out is if I quit cold turkey. So if there was ever a point where you guys just see me, disappear from Instagram, it's because I quit cold turkey and I went to go do
The
something
trolls
else.
would love that.
Oh yeah, and that's another
Or
thing.
no, they won't because they won't have anything to troll about.
That's another thing. I can't let those guys win. I can't let those trolls win. I have to keep going. If anything, I have to outlast all the trolls, the last troll, because I'm never gonna let those guys win. I'm never gonna let those guys win. So that's my justification
Yeah,
for.
they won't have anything to feed on if you leave, Dan, and quit collecting.
I know, right? I have a responsibility to all those trolls out there to give them material to talk about. So a lot of people depend on me, right? Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I have to feed a lot of.
There's a symbiosis going on here with the lovers and the haters.
But to get back on topic on your vacation, I wanted to ask you this follow-up question.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that. We've digressed.
How important was it for you to take this vacation and take like a good week away from the hobby and just to like recharge for your mental health? Because I think that's something that we don't always talk about. Like for people like you and me that are like living, breathing the hobby and content on a daily basis, week after week, the whole year long. How refreshed are you? How important was that for you to take a week off?
Oh my God, 250%. It was much needed, like for everything, just to get out of Los Angeles, from work, from the cards, just from everything. It was good. I just needed time to slow down a little and not feel like I'm always having to do something. Because you live in LA, everything's just like this, man. It's just like the whole world, getting in traffic, just trying to get to the grocery store. It's just like bam, bam, bam. And there I just like relaxed, it was all inclusive. So we ate plenty of food, drank a lot, and just relaxed. That was the most important. And then, I went, and looked, on the internet and everything and on my phone, but not as much. It said that my looking rate was down like 50% on my phone, which is a good thing, I guess. I've never seen it like you're 50% less than last week. That's never happened.
Right.
It easily goes up and up and up and up and up. So it was good just to chill out. I noticed like other people, like EJ went to Hawaii, that helps with Burbank Cards, one of the promoters that we're friends with. But I think after you do all this kind of work, you just need to like clear the palate.
Yeah.
So I feel good. I mean, even I did have some neck trouble with cramping. I'm still having a little, but not as much at vacation. But I think it did help not only, mentally, but also physically too. My neck, I think, healed a little more too out there. I did a lot of swimming. They even had a guy like doing workouts in the water. They give you these weights that are like floats because they look like heavy weights, like they're 50 pounds each, but they're very light. But when you do it inside the water, I need to do something like this in Los Angeles. And it was pretty hardcore for like an hour. But when you do it in the water, those weights, the floaty weights, it's hard. I was just feeling it and everything. And it was really good, like rehab and PT for my neck. And I need to do more of that.
That's good because I know this year's been hard on you with the travel schedule and everything like that. I honestly, I thought you probably dropped dead at one of these shows. To be honest, I thought I'd probably have to like carry your body home.
That was in Chicago, dude. That was the worst of worst. That's when I aggravated it the most.
So that's good that you were able to find the time to take a vacation. I think this is very important because for a lot of people, for I would say like a majority of people, the hobby is what is exactly that's what it is. It's a hobby for a lot of people, and they dedicate a minimum amount of time of their week to the hobby. But for people like us, where we're like fully immersed in the hobby, and a lot of people that we know that go to all the shows, that buy, sell, trade on a full-time basis,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's it can be easy to get lost in
Yes.
the hustle, because that's what this is. If you want to make money in the hobby, it's not passive, guys. It's a hustle and grind, and it's very easy to get lost. So I think it's good to take time off whenever you can, to just kind of get away from the negativity, get away from the FOMO and the
Mm-hmm.
feeling of having to like grind and hustle all the time, and all the stuff that comes with doing the hobby full time. I think it's important to kind of get away for your mental health every once in a while, and then come back and recharge so that you feel refreshed, and then you enjoy the hobby, because that's why we all do it, is because we love this process. So that's why we're so hardcore and gung-ho about it. But
Mm-hmm.
it can definitely wear on you at times. And for me, this will be this upcoming Dallas show is going to be my last show of the year, and then I go into my holiday season, which is like the best time of the year for me. It's Thanksgiving, it's my birthday, it's Christmas, so I'm going to be really
I
focused
know
on my
your
family.
birthday's next month, dude.
Right,
It's
my
coming.
big 40th birthday.
It is?
Yes, milestone for
Oh
me.
my
Yes.
gosh.
So, but it's just like it's going to
Hitting
be like
middle age.
major family time at the end of this month. So that's going to be like kind of my holiday going from the hobby. So I'm glad you were able to get that time in.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I definitely needed it. I am so ready. I only got a few days to rest, and then I jump back on a plane tomorrow. Because you know me, I like to head to Dallas a day before and just decompress. And I get my cards priced and organized and ready for Thursday, because I get there before you do, and so I check the both of us in.
So let's move on to let's talk about the Dallas show. It's coming up
Okay.
this week. Okay.
The last one I started from the beginning of January. Dan, you started last year, and you convinced me to go on this journey with you back in January, and we've been going. I only missed the May show, and that was it.
This will be the 6th Dallas show of this year, guys. They do it every 2 months, so this will be the 6th Dallas show that they've had this year,
and last.
And it will be the biggest Dallas show. I heard 750 plus tables at this show, which is insane because most shows, a big show would be over 200 tables, a really big show over 350 tables. This is double that, guys. This may be the biggest show in the country outside of the national, I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So this is going to be very interesting, because last time they did 700 plus tables, there was not enough foot traffic to support a show that size, I thought, right? So
no, it was totally dead. Everybody was out watching college football on that
It'll be
Saturday.
Interesting to see what happens this time, because a lot of big shops, a lot of big names, a lot of big corporate sponsors and everything, they've been advertising for this show. Hotel is sold out. So I think there's a lot of hype going into this show, and I think it's very important for the morale of the hobby for this show to do well, right? Everybody go. There's like 30 different people that make vlogs of this show, including you and me. And we need to have this show, like the hobby needs this Dallas show to represent and be really good. Because if it's anything like what happened in Vegas, where everybody was talking about how dead it was, and how everybody made, or how a lot of people, including myself, made vlogs about how empty and dead that show was, I think that's really going to hurt the morale of the hobby. So I'm hoping that these guys at Dallas, the Dallas Card Shop, or whatever they call themselves, I hope that they can, that they're prepared to do what it takes to make the show successful.
Yeah, and if anybody from the Dallas grading company, is that what you call them? DCI?
Dallas Card Investors.
Investors, yeah. The grading company, the tent that's right next to us. I know you know a lot of them. They know us. But if you're listening, please make sure you bring the TV this time and show the football games, because I had my best sales when they did that the beginning of the year, when they were showing the NFL playoffs and everything, and some basketball. I did my best because my table was packed because everybody was sitting there watching the games. And I actually think it helped their business too, because it was like, oh, I didn't know this existed. I can go get my cards graded.
Right.
I think it was a great lure. And I need to watch the Tennessee Georgia game on Saturday because it's going to be coming on 2:30. If they don't have it, then I have to watch my laptop because it's the number 1 and 2 teams, both undefeated, going for the national title, playing this Saturday.
Well, let's hope that brings foot traffic to the show, because
yes,
we need a strong showing. And when I say that, I don't mean like we need to make a lot of money or anything like that. I mean, we do, but we need people to be at the show. We need there to be excitement. And if they're not buying or selling, then they need to be trading. There needs to be a high level of activity at this show to carry us into next year. Basically, this is going to be like the last big show of the year, I think. I don't think there's anything else really planned anywhere in the country that I know of. So this is really going to have to carry us over until January. So hopefully they have a lot of people go there, and it's not all vendors, and they've got good foot traffic, and we can do well.
Yeah, hopefully so, because I mean, I didn't have anybody even coming to my table to look what I have. That's how dead it was last time. Nobody brought me anything. I maybe saw about 3 people looking at their cards, and that was it.
If you guys are going to go to the Dallas Card Show, come find us. We will be right where we always are, right in front of the Dallas Card Investors tent.
In the men's bathroom.
By the men's bathroom. So come check us out. I will be giving away a lot of cards. I will be starting a lot of people's collections of Star Wars, wrestling, some Marvel cards. I'll have some really good deals. I'm pricing all my cards to sell.
Nice.
So come check us out, guys, for sure.
Woo.
Okay. So anything else you want to add to that before?
No, I think we've said what we said about the show.
Yeah, I got a lot to talk about on my list here. Since we didn't.
What do you want to talk about next, then, Dan?
Since we didn't have a show last week, I've got 2 weeks of material to talk about. Sure.
He's been waiting for this, guys.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is let me see here. I want to talk about these Marvel auctions that ended over the weekend here.
Oh, yeah, you posted some of that on your Instagram, correct?
Yes.
I did see that during my vacation, Dan.
Yes. So the last month when these golden auctions ended and the Marvel auctions that ended didn't do so well, you saw all these reaction videos from all these trolls and all these other people that just like to talk shit about Marvel.
And you know who you are.
Yes. Okay, you're probably hovering in this chat right now.
Yes.
Okay,
just listening, waiting.
You saw all these reaction videos, all these people saying, "Oh, Marvel's this and that," and everybody was pointing fingers at me and things like that. But over the weekend, there were two auctions that I highlighted personally. There was more, but there was 2 particular ones that performed very, very well, in my opinion. There was a PSA 10 Wolverine 2015, I think, 2015 blue PMG. PSA 10 blue PMGs, they're
that's the second year of Marvel, right?
Yes,
when they do the PMGs,
they're out of 50, and they're like mid-tier pricing, right? They're mid-tier pricing. They're anywhere between like, I don't know, $5 to like $20,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
depending on the card, right?
That doesn't sound mid-tier to me. Whew.
Okay, let's just assume let's just say that's mid-tier. That one ended for like almost $60,000, which I think is a very, very strong sale for a blue PMG out of 50.
Okay, that's enough to buy a car.
Like that could be considered like February sales.
Yes, I know, right?
Especially where the market is right now. So that was a very strong sale. So that was cool to see. And then the other big sale was a green Spider-Man 2017. BGS 8.5 PMG that ended for like $85,000.
Gosh,
$85,000. And what's important, this is why I highlighted this auction, and I took a couple screenshots to show on my my post on Instagram, is that I think in like February that a PSA 8 sold for like $82,000, and then in like April another PSA 8 sold for like $80,000, something like that. So for a BGS 8.5 to sell in that same range, I mean, that's a big win considering where Marvel was in February to where it is now. That is showing that those rare cards are still holding their value and people are still paying up for those rare Marvel cards. So I thought that was cool to see. That that made me happy. And the point I'm trying to make here is not that Marvel, you should be investing in Marvel. None of that. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make here is that you don't hear anything from these guys that were just talking all this shit last month. You don't hear anything from them. Silence.
No reaction videos about
no
this.
reaction videos because that's not what they do, right? They don't celebrate the wins. They don't talk about market activity when it's good, when it's positive, right? They only want to talk about the bad stuff. So I really enjoyed those auctions. I really enjoyed screenshotting those and sharing that with everybody on Instagram. And I made a funny reel about it because it's just so satisfying to me. So I was very happy with that for sure. And that's what I'm going to do. Whenever I see like a strong auctions, like people love to say, I told you so. And they love to point out the bad auctions, but they never point out the good auctions, right? I mean, some people do. I mean, the auction houses will point out the really record sales and things like that. But like for most people, they never talk about the good sales, right? So that's something I thought we needed to show a little bit of love to Marvel auctions for that, for sure. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm glad that's happening. I did sell a few of them, talking about my lower tier PMGs around the same few weeks too. So I feel like the Marvel PMG market is really picking up again.
I think so.
I've had them forever,
yeah.
and all of a sudden they got sold.
I feel like I've seen some strong sales with the Marvel PMGs lately. There's going to be bad sales, here and there, but then I feel like there's still demand for a lot of those cards, depending on what year and character and everything like that, right?
Of course.
But to see those sales, that's a really good sign, and that made me happy.
So, are you back to buying PMGs as well?
The rare ones. If I can find a rare one. I mean, I tried to buy a couple on there and I lost out to those golden auctions.
Oh, no.
So it's just a little bit out of my budget, but yeah, if I can see a really good one to pick up, then I definitely will. And the Spider-Man metal, that the current series, the Spider-Man metal, those sales are still doing well too. So that's a good sign for sure.
Now, is the Spider-Man metal that's out now, is that considered 2021 or 2022?
Well, it came out in 2022, but I've seen people listed as 2021.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to ask, because I'm so confused.
I
go
think
on eBay, a lot of people post it as 2021. So are they just saying that's it? Like, what's it saying on the box?
I think 2021, 2022, something like that, because it was delayed for like a year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that was that. Anything you want to add before we move on to my next topic?
I just did the addition there.
Okay. So my next thing I want to talk about here is something that's been on my mind for a while.
Okay. What is it, Dan? What's been on your mind?
How I hear people always trying to blame quote unquote influencers for where the market is today. Right. And you know what I'm talking about? Like you see all these videos of these people out there where when they talk negative about the hobby, they say, oh, these influencers, they led us down this wrong path.
Are you kidding?
Now we lost money and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And what
dude,
bothers me,
I get so many comments on my YouTube page, and it's regarding you.
Oh, hey, I wasn't talking about me.
I know, but they're like, Merlin, you need to get rid of the Pumpinator because he has led everybody down the wrong path and done all this. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Here's my point. I don't consider myself an influencer. Okay. I have a small following of people. I'm a content creator.
Even Sports Car Radio puts you like that.
I know. Well, they put me up
people down the wrong path.
Yeah. They put me up there with Ken Golden and Jeff Wilson. I consider those guys influencers. They have 50,000 plus followers. They have, this is what they do for a living. I don't consider myself an influencer or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah, but they put your face on the rest of the Mount Rushmore.
I know, right? I still think that was a mistake. I think that those guys thought I was somebody else. I think they probably thought I was Pac-Man, the guy that opens all those packs. He's got like 50,000 followers.
He's got more than you.
Yeah. I think
That's
they thought
man.
I think they thought I was Pac-Man. Seriously, because
How racist.
Yeah. Hey, you can't say that. I can say that. Okay.
No, I can say it too, man. You know,
But
I'm in the
here's my point.
family.
Here's my point. Okay. Here's my point. Um, the fact that these people, it's not the fact that, whether an influencer led people down the wrong path or not. It's the fact that people are trying to blame other people for their own decisions. That's what I take issue with, right? So let's just say you want to call somebody like myself or you or anybody else that makes
Mhm,
content. You want to call that person an influencer. Somehow they have control over people's buying habits, right?
mhm,
And that if something bad happens, that they shift the blame to whoever, whatever content follower that they follow, whatever content that they consume, they shift the blame over to that person, and instead of taking responsibilities for their own actions, you know
mhm.
that I have a problem with. And I feel like that narrative is floating around the hobby right now, and it's it's dangerous because it allows people to kind of like not take responsibilities for what they're doing within the hobby, right? Oh, I invested in this guy. I didn't know anything about this guy. I don't like this guy, and his cards went down, but I invested in him because I saw some video of some guy who said, buy this guy, buy this card, right?
Mhm.
And if we have that mentality where we just blindly follow everything that we see out there, that is gonna really, really set the hobby back, I think, right?
Mhm.
Um, Maybe that was okay a year ago, 2 years ago, where people were saying, okay, these are the top 5 cards you should buy, things like that. But I don't know too many people that actually make that type of content nowadays. I don't know people that have like a top 10 list of cards to invest in or this or that. And I think the content has evolved from last year to where it is now, but I think that the narrative is still like it's okay to like blame people for your decisions, right? But I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, during the pandemic, I was watching, Jeff Wilson, sports card
Mhm.
investor, his top five videos or what else videos he were doing. I would watch other YouTube, and yeah, I had nothing else to do during the pandemic, during the lockdown, so I would buy a lot of those cards that
Mhm.
they would, do like the top five, top 10 every single week. And I would go, man, I bought Bowl, just as much as everybody did. I made bad investments, but I can't get mad at Jeff. Like, hey, Jeff, you idiot, you ruined my life because I went out and bought 20 Bowl rookie cards.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not his fault. He's just giving you advice. He's not telling you this is the way everything is. There,
Yeah.
should be a disclaimer. I mean, you're a lawyer, and you can't tell your clients, you can't say nothing's set in stone just because I advise you to do this doesn't mean you're going to win or lose or
It,
get what you want.
yeah,
So
it
you
depends
have
on the
and
relationship,
you have to
right?
tell your clients they have to make the final decision. You can't make the decision for them. Correct?
Yeah, it depends on the relationship that you have
Mm-hmm.
with somebody. If you have like a fiduciary relationship where maybe you take money from them or something like that, or you have some type of real power over them that you can influence their decisions, then yes, there is responsibility there. But for content creators, there should be no blame put on these people because it's just because you don't know how people are interpreting your the content that you put out there. And I will say with Jeff Wilson, sports card investor, a year ago, he was putting out that type of content. These
Mm-hmm.
are the top 10 cards you should invest in. I think something
Right.
like that, right? Don't quote me on that, but something similar to that. But his content has evolved where he doesn't put out these are my top picks. He just puts out like these are the top 10 cards that have gone up in the last month or whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
by using data, by using sales. And a lot of people don't put out content that I've seen right now. I don't see a lot of people putting out content saying these are the cards that you need to invest in because they're going up. You know what I mean? I think
Well,
that
sports cards invest. The young kid, he does that still.
does he still do it? Because
Yeah, because I still have my
I was about to
membership
mention
thing,
him.
and I
Yeah.
watch his stuff or read his stuff on Instagram,
So
and I
I
take it all with a
remember,
grain of salt. There's
yeah,
some, I was like,
I didn't
oh,
even
I
know he
might
was still
invest in this
around. To
because
be
it's some. If I
honest,
like it, that player, I might invest in
yeah,
it. But because he sometimes will post things that I never saw before.
hmm
that's like, oh, a unique insert card or something.
Okay,
And
so
so I'm
let's
like,
talk about guys like
I'll
that.
do my research.
Let's talk about guys like that because guys like that, they have like a subscription service or something
They
like that,
do,
right?
right?
Like
Mhm.
some Patreon or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
Another guy that,
$600 a month
yeah,
or something.
another guy I know, Pokenomics. I did an interview with him. He has like a Patreon where he actually takes money from people.
Hmm.
So I feel like if you are selling a service, a subscription model, a Patreon, whatever you want to call it, if you're selling something, you're taking people's money for your advice, then yes, you have a fiduciary duty to those people. And if those people rely on your picks or your advice and it doesn't turn out well, those people have a right to blame you for that. That I agree with. Okay. But for the majority of people out there, that doesn't apply. Like, I don't have a subscription model. You don't have one, right? All the
No,
people that we know, Roth Cards, Mojo, to my knowledge, they don't have subscriptions. Brian, Sunday League Investor, I don't think he has anything
he
like that,
doesn't. Okay.
right? So for most people, that doesn't really apply. And I think that we unfairly get lumped into that category where people just say it's okay to blame these people because they make a YouTube vlog, they have a weekly podcast, they post things on Instagram. So we get to blame those people. And just to kind of summarize my point here, I just think that we as collectors, we have to take responsibilities for our own actions. And
Hmm.
we can't be so quick to blame other people for things that really they have no control over. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if I collect Marvel, Star Wars, and I show that to you guys, and you guys want to buy it because you think that you can make money off of it, and the market, doesn't perform as well as you thought, that really doesn't have. That's really out of our control, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I think that if you want to really be successful in this hobby, then the sooner that you can take responsibility for your own actions, your own choices, the things, the cards that you buy, the cards that you sell, all that stuff, that's when you really start to like learn this hobby, learn the craft of buying, selling, and trading. And that's when you can really level up your game because you are evaluating your own decisions, you're taking responsibilities, you're learning from your mistakes or your what do I want to call it, your wins and losses, right? You're learning from your record versus like a victim mentality almost where you try to blame somebody else. Okay.
Hmm.
So I would say that most of the people that I know do not fall into that category, but there are some people, some trolls on that make content in the hobby that try to promote that narrative. So I think it's important for us to push back on that because I just don't think that benefits anybody if they feel that they can blame other people for their buying decisions.
True.
Yeah.
I meant, all the time we hype the cards that we have, that we collect, that we sell, and you guys, the viewers, probably get excited, get the FOMO going, and you decide to go invest in some Star Wars cards or some Marvel cards or music cards or whatever, because we're getting so excited about it. But I think it's, as an investor, you need to pick the cards that the YouTuber is hyping, then decide what cards you would like to invest in and do your own research after that. Just don't go out and buy it because someone says buy it now or this is the best investment of the week or the month. I think you should pick the card that you like the most, be it sports or non-sports or whatever, and do your own research, because that's what I would do. I would write all the players down or the type of card, and I would go look on eBay or other things and see how much they're selling for, and decide from there what would be a good investment for me, for Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you agree, Dan?
Yeah, of course. Of course, we should like. I mean, if you're looking at it from purely an investment perspective, yes, right. Everybody would do that same thing, but for us, I think with the content that we do, it's mainly like
Mm-hmm.
it's collector focus. It's we buy things that we like, we buy things that we believe in, and then we turn around, and that's what we have. We have Marvel cards, Star Wars cards, pop culture cards, and we go to shows and we buy, sell, and trade around those things. And if you want to get into those categories, you've got to do your research and find out what you're buying, and you got to like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We take a collector first mentality towards our buying and selling habits. We don't really do anything where we say these are the top cards that you should be investing in. We might have like top 10 list of cards that we like, things
Mm-hmm.
like that, but we don't have we never talk about that stuff really. But I think it's unfair for a lot of people to try to say that all content falls into that false, misleading influencer type content. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
So speaking of the cards, I know you've been collecting. You've been grabbing every Star Wars Superfractor you can. How many Superfractor Star Wars cards do you own right now, Dan? Is it still 5, or
um
has it grown?
it's 5 Star Wars cards,
Okay.
but my buying habits, if you want to shift topics real quick here and just talk about what buying habits we're doing here, I think this is perfect that we can lead into this, is that
Okay.
I've been buying rare cards, okay? Like cards that don't comp out, because I want to control the market on that particular card. So
Right.
like right now I've been buying, super fractors, one of ones, um, gold refractors out of 10, anything out of 10, basically, or less than 10, I've been buying. That's what I'm looking for right now, or like rare vintage cards with low pop counts under 50.
Mm.
um I just picked up, like, I'll just say, I'll tell you, I don't have it in hand, but I just picked up another Walt Disney 1931 PSA 8 card. uh
Woo!
that
Wow. And
that
how
in
many of those do you own? The Walt
two
Disney's?
two
Oh, just 2. I thought you
Yeah,
had more than
and
that for some
I think
reason.
it's a pop 20, 21, something
Ooh,
like
that's
that.
very low.
So stuff like that. I just recently picked up the Bret Hart Superfractor, and I bought
Yeah,
a
I
Bret
saw
Hart
that.
1 of 1 Transcendent. I got this Randy Orton. Where is it? A Randy Orton 1 of 1 that is picked up from Impeccable. I picked up Hulk Hogan Gold out of 10 Impeccable cards. So just like rare numbered cards. That's where my buying habits are right now. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to control the comps for these cards. You know what I mean? I don't want to buy cards where I don't have control over the price on it. Like if the card sells for less and then I have to, I'm like held to that new market price. I don't want to do that anymore. So I've been using this time as to try to accumulate all these one of ones, and my ultimate goal is to have a whole case at the next Dallas show of all one of ones.
Oh
That's
my
that's
goodness.
my goal. All one of
Even
ones,
another case.
or super rare cards.
Now, have you bought any like superfractors or low number, low pop cards with a low grade on it?
Mm, most of these cards are not even graded, to
Or
be
you bought
honest.
them all raw?
Yes. And this is what's interesting here. I was thinking about this too. Um, I asked this question on my Instagram.
I know. That's why I
Does
was
the
going to ask you.
condition of a one of one matter? And I got so many comments. I got over 100 comments with people with different opinions about this. Um, and like it was majority of the survey, I would say, said that the one of one condition does not matter unless it's absolutely trashed, right?
Hmm.
So if it's like a PSA 8, 9, it doesn't matter as much. If there's a PSA 10, it carries a premium. But if it's an
Of
8 or
course.
9, 7, 8, 9, it doesn't matter as much unless it is a common one of one, which sounds ridiculous, right? But you know how Prism and Select, they have like 20 different one of ones.
Yeah, right. Different
So like,
colors.
yeah, so if it falls into the category where there's multiple one of ones in the same set, same series, yes, condition does matter. But for the most part, people were saying it doesn't matter.
Because I see Charles is in here too, and when he was at the National with us, he went and got his the Rock Superfractor graded
Right.
101, and it came back a PSA 6.
Yes.
So I wonder what kind of effect it has on Charles. Charles, did you keep it or did you sell the card? Like, how do you feel about that PSA 6? Did he crack it out because he was so ashamed
No,
of it?
no, I
What?
talked to him about this. I don't think he cracked it out, and I think he still has it.
Okay.
Charles, you feel free to comment on this, but it's a little bit disappointing that it was a 6, but I still think it's a rock superfractor
Hmm.
of that year, and there's only one of them of that year in the Topps Chrome, I think it was. Um, so, and then that card was actually also featured in PSA magazine, so I
I
thought that was pretty
know,
cool.
right?
Yeah,
I just
so
have it right over here.
for me, like, honestly, the grades don't matter. Like when I'm buying these one of ones, they're raw on eBay. I don't even look. at the condition. I mean, that might sound crazy and stupid, but I don't even look at the condition. I just want it because it's a one of one. That's what matters to me. I'm buying the rarity of the card over the condition. I bought this Randy Orton one of one impeccable, and on the back of it, it has little edging issues. It's not going to be a 10. It'd probably be an 8, maybe a 7, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. It's the only one, right? It's the only one of that series that's labeled one of one. So for me, it doesn't matter as much, but I know some people they would probably want it to be like a 10 or something like that for them to really care about it. But to me, what matters for modern cards, anyways, is the rarity of the card.
Have you seen any like low grade Star Wars Galaxy Chrome superfractors? Because then mostly I've seen them just come back 9s and 10s,
I have
nothing
not.
less than
Yeah,
9.
no, I haven't. I haven't seen any low ones, but I did see a Harrison Ford PSA 8 sell on Golden the other day for over $5,000, so that was surprising. But yeah,
And that was a non-autograph, right?
Yeah, non-autograph. It was
wow.
Topps finest, I think.
Mm.
But here's the thing here's the next point I want to lead into is we have to we're getting in a stage, we're in the hobby where we're going into like a hobby winter, where prices are going down. There's less money being spent. There's less competition for buyers, things like that, right? So a lot of the prices, if you're tracking cards that transact a lot, they're going down in price, right? So how do we stop that? How do we protect our investments in these cards? And for me personally, is I'm buying rare cards. I'm buying cards that do not transact. Whatever the card, like whatever I buy it for, I'm the last comp on that, and I'm going to set the next comp. I'm going to set the price on that. And I think that's important for us to kind of think about, because a lot of people, we have this belief, right? The common belief or the common practice in the hobby is whatever a card sells for, that's the market value, and you want to buy under that. You want to buy under that. So like if a card sells for $100 on eBay and you see that card at a card show, you want to pay $80 for that card. You want to get in at that card 70, 80% of the last comp so that you have room to flip it at that comp price. But that doesn't make sense to me because, if I was the last person to buy that card, why would I sell it for less than I bought it for? You know what I mean? That's the question that I always ask people when they try to quote comps with me.
Mm-hmm.
They say, okay, if it's a rare card, if it's a readily available card, that's a different story. But let's just talk about rare cards. If they say, well, the last one on eBay was $100, so I want to buy it at $80, and I just usually respond to them. I say, well, if I was the last one to buy it for $100, why would I sell it for $80, right? And then the
right.
follow up to that would be, if I bought it, if you're going to hold me to that comp, if I bought it for $100, what would be the fair premium that I could make on that for me to sell it? 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever, right? So that's how I think people should be pricing using comps. Is if it's a rare card and you can't get it anywhere else, then you should add a fair premium on that value if you're going to hold somebody to that number, right?
Right.
Now, if you could buy it on eBay for that same price or less, then you have to hold yourself, the seller, you have to hold yourself to the market value of that card if it's readily available somewhere else. But if it's not, you set the comp. And our friend Josh, Sports Card Plaza, just posted something about this today or yesterday, where he said that you don't have to follow the comps. You can set your own comps if you have a rare card. And I believe in that pricing model. What do you think?
No, I know. I totally agree. I mean, I get that a lot too when I'm the buyer of the last comps and I bought those cards and I'm trying to resell them again because I know that I got them for a steal, for a great price, and I knew that card's probably definitely worth twice as much than what I paid for. But then someone at the show sees that comp on eBay, like, and then it's like it's such a low pop too. Like there's no more listed, or maybe one at a super high price, but they see the comps and they see the still that I bought, and they want it for that same price. That was like a month ago. And I'm like, well, how am I going to get that card again?
Right.
Like, I'm not going to sell it for the same price I just paid for. Like, that's your fault. You should have bought it a month ago at that price I paid for. and there's no other. It's not like there's 100 cards listed on eBay of that same card. It's going to be impossible for me, almost impossible, especially after I got it graded, or if it was graded and it came back a 9 or 10, which more than likely it did. That's why they want to buy it. But for me to get that card and get that grade again, it's a very low percentage.
That's
that happening.
That transacting model worked back when everything was going up.
Mm-hmm.
When everything was going up, it worked out that you could buy a card, a little bit less comps, and then hopefully that card will go up, and then you make a little bit more margin on it, right? But when the market goes down like the way it is, it doesn't make sense to do that. And I think that once people realize that, and if this concept is ever widely adopted, I think that's what will be what stabilizes the market, where people set a floor. Right now, we don't have a floor for pricing on a lot of cards, and a lot of people just keep like cannibalizing the values of these cards by getting them below the comps, and we keep pushing that floor lower. But once we set a certain floor for that, and then we transact off of the floor pricing, like if it's $100 and you can't get it anywhere else, and $100 the floor, and the next person that buys it has to pay like $120, mm-hmm. I think that's where we will kind of stabilize, and things will be a little bit more less volatile with pricing. And I see a lot of people do that on eBay, where they'll buy rare cards, they buy vintage cards, things like that. Like they'll buy something for like, again, I'll use the example, they'll buy a card for like $100, and then they will relist it on eBay for like $200. And then that's the new floor. And if they have the only one, then that's their price. They set the comp for that.
That's right.
It makes me mad, obviously, because I was like, oh man, I should have bought it for $100, but I can't fault them for doing that, because that's how you control the pricing of these cards. And I think that's something that we really have to think about going forward, especially in a down market like we are right now.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's another thing that also bends my corner too. I mean, I have a Jason Tatum rookie card listed, and it's the green prism color match rookie card, and it's a BGS 9.5 with all 9.5 subgrades. And then I get someone writing me on eBay saying they're interested in the card, but they don't agree subjectively that was all 9.5s, and they're trying to shit on the card. Part of my French, and they're like, well, that's that. The centering is really about a 8.59. BGS is really generous with the centering, which I didn't even know is true. I feel like PSA is more lenient on the centering.
Right?
Are they? Is that my imagination?
I think so. Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, it's like BGS. I feel like it's harder on the centering, and the centering looks great. I mean, I know this card. If I send it to, which I maybe do, I should maybe take the risk. I don't know. Dan, you let me know. Maybe I should crack it and send the PSA, try to get a 10 off of it. I have no clue. But the guy's trying to tell me this is a 9 card, and he wants like half price on the card. And he thinks that's the best I'll get. And I'm just like,
I think
I just want to give him the middle finger so badly.
eBay gamesmanship,
I hate when people do that. Don't you hate when people do that to you?
Honestly, if you want to,
or is that you that's doing it to me?
Probably. I've probably done that every once in a while, to be honest. But I would say this. Here's another tip. And this is just something I want to speak.
Okay.
I'll just say like one little blurb about this. I think that there has to be a level of etiquette on eBay also, because sometimes if I get a rude message that I think is rude, it's very short, like what's your best price, or will you take this, or whatever. And if it comes across as rude to me, I'll just ignore the message, to be honest.
That's what I do now.
So I think that if anybody's that's trying to like do any type of negotiations on eBay, just be polite, courteous, and try to add a little bit more effort in your communications to kind of soften up the seller if you're trying to negotiate, because if you're just too direct to the point, it could kill the deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no like pleasure to meet you. I love your show, or like how are you doing kind of thing. It's just like cold and coming in really strong.
At the very least, just say hello, please.
Yeah, introduce yourself, do something.
That's at the very least, guys. Just say hello, please, and thank you with your message, and that will probably go farther than if you're just very direct to the point. Will you take this? How much is this? What's your best price? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I need a little foreplay,
Yeah.
before you just get right into it.
Okay. I'm not going to make any jokes about that.
Okay.
So let's move on.
Making Dan turn red.
Yes. Let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about. Let's see here. There's two topics I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the serious topic real quick here.
What is it?
Because I feel like I hate to share this news, but I feel like it's important to share this. So recently, two people that I know got scammed in the hobby, and I think it's important to highlight a couple things here. Like, use it as a learning experience. I don't want to give away any specific details because there's
still going on.
Yeah, there's investigations trying to go on to try to resolve this. But two things, okay? Number one is, here's a scam that I've heard about, and I've been, some people have tried the scam on me a couple times, and I think that it's starting to show up more. But here's the thing, guys. So a buddy of mine was doing a transaction with somebody online. They came to an agreed upon price, and the person paid him more than what the agreed upon price was. So, for an example here, the price is $1,000, and he sent $10,000 by mistake. By mistake, in quotations, right? And the scam that you're seeing now, or that I'm seeing, is that people will overpay you a dollar amount, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I sent it to you by mistake. Can you send it back to me?" And then you send it back to them, and then they file a fraud charge on their account to freeze out your account. So they get your money, and supposedly they get their money too. Okay. I don't know how it works when it plays out, when they do the fraud investigation. It hasn't gotten that far yet, but I'm seeing that a lot more lately, especially on Instagram. So be aware of this, guys. Okay.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, because now but when you file a claim for that, you're going to have a paper trail.
I don't know.
Showing this evidence.
I don't want to talk it out because I don't know the details of how these are playing out, but this is happening to people that I know, where they're getting overpaid, and they just, in good faith, refund it automatically to the person through wire transfers, Zelle, Venmo. They do it automatically, friends and family or whatever, and then they get hit with a fraud charge immediately afterwards. So this is a scam that I'm seeing. So just be aware of this, guys.
That's crazy.
If you know about it, share it on Instagram. Let people know, so that we don't get taken advantage of, because this is a real way to really kill the hobby, is if it's rampant with fraud and scams like this. Okay, so this is happening. Terrible. That's one thing that's happened. Another thing that happened to a person that I saw on Instagram. I can even share his name, Mickey Precious Gems. He posted something today on Instagram where he did a deal off of like a Facebook group or something like that, where he mailed 2 really expensive cards to a guy, and the guy claimed through PayPal that he received the incorrect cards and that he got scammed, right? And I'm going to believe my friend because I know him, right? I know him. I follow him. So I'm going to take his side on this. But this is another thing that people will do, is if you do deals off of marketplaces, if you do a deal off eBay, off Golden, or whatever, off of PWCC, then you run the risk of somebody saying that they didn't receive the card, or the card getting stolen or something like that. And you got to go through this whole long process of investigations, fraud investigations. You got to file claims with your insurance, all these things that will take a lot of time, effort, and put you through a lot of unnecessary stress. So be very careful of doing deals off marketplaces with people that you don't know and trust. Okay. Because I just hate to see this, because he wrote this long explanation about what happened. And he wrote, at the end of it, "This is why I've lost faith in the hobby. This is why I left the hobby. This is why I lost faith in the community." And that just made me a little bit, it made me feel sorry for him, but it also made me feel sad, because I can understand why if people get burned, they want to leave the hobby. You know what I mean? Like my other friend who got subjected to this fraud charge scam. He said the same thing to me. He says, "I'm done with this. I'm done with the hobby." And that's what I want to protect against. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Please share it with your own friends, your own communities. Just be very, very cautious about how you transact. I know we all want to save fees. We don't want to pay marketplace fees and things like that, but we have to be very careful about who we trust in the hobby because it's very easy to get scammed. And the hobby is not regulated by anybody. So you could get scammed and nothing could ever happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just be careful with that. Anything you want to add?
Well, maybe that's kind of what the eBay thing now, the authenticity guarantee that kind of helps you as a seller. So now, eBay's like, we've already authenticated this card, so we know Merlin sent the right card.
Well, what people are doing, they're taking their deals off marketplace. When I say marketplace, I mean eBay.
Oh, like through Instagram. When people hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, when people trying to do deals on Facebook, Instagram, or some other thing, when you don't do it through a third party like eBay, PWCC, Golden, whatever, you're running a risk of getting scammed. And if you get scammed, whether it's right or wrong or whatever, you got to go through this long process to try to get your money back. You got to file fraud claims with your bank. You've got to talk to the insurance company if you even have insurance. If something gets lost in the mail, you got to talk to like the post office or UPS. You got to go through all these third-party channels just to try to fix a mistake or fix the problem, and it's a hassle. And most of the time, I don't think it plays out in the person's favor, to be honest. So we just have to be careful about that. I think that there's probably a need for some type of alternative marketplace. Like I know a friend of mine, his name is Raymond. He has a new website that he's trying to create called like Veriswap, where it's like a marketplace where you can do these transactions in a safe way. I don't know how it works, to be honest. But I think that there's a need for that because, people, when they try to save 10%, 15% on fees or whatever, they try to go off this. There's no remedy really if you get scammed. Okay. Even if you pay with goods and services and things like that, PayPal is not in the habit of protecting people. Okay. That's just my belief on that.
Has this ever happened to you?
No, luckily.
Me either. Knock on wood.
But to be honest, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust nobody.
No, I know. Because the most people that I do, when they hit me on Instagram, I already know those people.
Yeah.
They're other dealers or people I've met over through time. More than just once at card shows that we have had some kind of relationship, some kind of bond together. So they know me, I know them.
Only if I know a person. If I actually have met you and I know you, or you come highly recommended from people that I know and trust, I'll do a deal. But most of my deals are done at card shows in person or on eBay. I don't do many deals on Instagram at all unless I really, really know you or you have good vouchers.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let you guys know about that because I've been hearing about that lately. And I think that the more the market goes down, the more the economy goes down. I think people are going to be desperate and start to do these type of scams. So we got to be very aware of that. Okay. So moving on from that, the last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll go to comments here, is apparently Ken Golden and Golden Auctions is getting some type of reality show. That's what I heard today.
Oh, wow.
Where they're going to be showing transactions for like sports cards and collectibles.
But they haven't shot it yet. It's just in development, right?
Something like that. I don't know, but it's going to be like a Pawn Star type reality series or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Netflix. I think that's going to be very interesting. I think that's going to definitely draw a lot of attention to our hobby. And when that happens, who knows? There could be another influx of people trying to jump in and, join in on the fun and try to make money off the hobby and things like that. But I just thought that was interesting. I don't know.
Exciting.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of details on that.
Yes.
If anybody from Golden's watching and I could end up on the show somehow, I would love it.
Yeah, I need to check it out. I need to see who's working on that. Maybe I can jump in as well.
Oh, you totally should. You should be an editor for that.
Oh God, I've worked so many reality, so it's a small world for reality shows. I got to see who is the post producers on the show.
That'd be cool. Okay, so with that, let's get to the comments here. I know a lot of people have a lot of comments. So we'll try to get to as many as we can, guys.
Oh yeah, my friends just text me too, folks. The All-State College Playoff top 25 came out, and Tennessee is seated number one
Okay.
right now. Yes.
Okay, gosh. Guys, how many times are you
Dude, I
gonna
want
mention
to
Tennessee?
relish as long as I can with this because who knows? They've got to make this win on Saturday, but I want to enjoy it as much as I can. It's been long overdue.
It's so obnoxious, guys, when he wears this Tennessee shirt and then Tennessee wins and then everybody congratulates him like he's the head coach or something. Come on, you went there like 30 years ago, okay?
Hey, I graduated there, man. It's my alma mater.
All right, new drinking game, guys. Every time Merlin says Tennessee, take a shot.
You can kiss my balls, dude. Kiss my balls.
Who is Tennessee's rival?
Alabama,
Okay.
Georgia, and Florida, but Alabama, because even though Alabama's not in our division, we play them every year because of the history.
Okay, I'm going to be
That's
Alabama
like the Red Sox versus the Yankees.
Okay, I'm going to be rooting for Alabama from now on.
No, everybody hates Alabama, dude. Come on.
All right.
No,
all right,
and then after that, it's going to be probably Georgia and Florida. And Georgia, we play this weekend at Georgia, so I'm a little nervous.
All right,
but
I'm rooting for Georgia. I'm rooting for Georgia.
No, why? Come on, Dan.
All right, let's get to the comments here.
They always win. Okay, let's do it. Loco Card Collector, are you guys going to be in Dallas? Of course, man. That's our home away from home. Trader Griff's Adam, buddy. Sup, gentlemen. Good to see you guys. Let's see that zipline footage. We didn't shoot any this time. They didn't put a camera on my head. Prodigy Card Collector. Oh, what's up, Brandon? Good evening, gentlemen. Did you enjoy your vacation, Merlin? I so did. See my tan? I'm peeling on my back, though. I didn't get all the SPF on my back.
TMI.
So I'm peeling. No, that's just my back, not my butt.
Mo's gonna love
I got
that.
a massage. Oh, I got a massage
when he shares a hotel room with you.
We got a couples massage. You know, like you and I had, Dan, that couples massage.
Hey. We said we never talk about
Is this mic on?
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, no. Loco Card Collector. Hey, hi, Dan. Your message to the card collecting world is that we need to improve civility in the hobby. Do you think the hobby has made progress since your video started? Yeah. Has the hobby made progress since your video started, Dan?
I would say so. I would say so. I think it's become more of a talking point, and selfishly, if I can take credit for that, for spreading that message, I will definitely take credit for that. But yeah, that's one of the things I always tell people. You know, be a gentleman investor. It's one of my mission statements in the hobby. Be kind, polite, helpful to your fellow collector, your fellow hobbyist, and I think that's a way that we can improve everybody's experience within the hobby. And what I think that is, if we hold ourselves to a high level of conduct within the hobby, I say this in all my videos, guys, if we hold ourselves to a very high level of conduct within the hobby, that will help weed out a lot of these bad actors, these scammers that can't meet that high standard, right? They'll stick out like sore thumbs. So I'm always preaching that whenever I can. I try to lead by example. So I'd like to think that I've had a little bit of impact on the hobby.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next one.
EJ B Tube. Is that the first or third Holland edition? Well, it's the rarest one. So I saw it go for 2,000 on Probstein. So let me know what it is, EJ. Adrian, CV Sports Cards. Gentlemen, how are you, Merlin, brother? How was your trip? My trip was amazing. Go to St. Lucia or go to Caribbean. Well worth it. Water is warm like bath water. Jordan, hello, gentlemen. Jordan, we're going to see you Thursday as well. Papa Jim, I hope to see him this week. Better late than missing this. Hello, guys. Hope to see you this weekend in Dallas. So he will be there. Always good to get a big hug and a shake from Papa Jim. EJ, Holland is not playing the World Cup. I think I knew that because he's with Norway. I don't think Norway is in the World Cup. Best time to buy his cards. No one will be thinking about him. But the way he's playing with Man City, I think everybody's thinking about him, though. And those cards keep going up. I've been doing my research. Ed Ram, it's always good to see Ed. We will see him this weekend as well in Dallas. So come to our table, Ed. Local card collector with prices falling rapidly. I am looking to complete some sets I had on hold. Good idea.
I would agree with that, guys. If the market is going down and you get some of those cards that you've been wanting for a long time, they might become attainable to you again at today's prices. So keep an eye on that stuff. There could be some good buying opportunities available, especially if people are trying to get out of cards, especially the rare cards. So keep an eye on things. I know for me personally, I've been buying a lot of like grail cards, or not grail cards, but like just rare cards, like one of ones. So if I can find them and they're on my list, if I can get them at a good price, I'm picking them up.
Okay. PK, Dan, you are truly at a level of addiction where you may need some help.
Yeah,
like you didn't notice.
there's probably going to be an intervention at some point with my family, so we'll see, guys.
Global sports card investor. Good day, they're my American amigos, all from Australia, right? Global sports card investor from Australia.
Yes.
Local card collector. My girlfriend would lose her mind if my office looked like that. Yep. Yeah, you should see his real office. It even has toys and stuff in there. I'm like, what do your clients think of that? I bet they're just staring at the walls and everything when they're trying to
answer that very quickly. I find, so if you guys don't know, my office it looks like a collectible store. You can see videos on it. Jeff Wilson did a tour of my office actually, which was really cool. But I find personally that that's a disarming tactic for me. So like when people go into like any type of professional office, they feel maybe nervous because, you know, they've got to talk about something serious. So I use collectibles as a way to break the ice with my clients. It's a tactic that I've found very successful over the years, where if they see something they like they see a toy or a cartoon or a character or a movie or something that they like that they can connect with, instantly it gives me something that a common interest that I can talk to them about, and it relaxes the situation. And I find that to be helpful when we have to talk about serious issues and things like that. It lets people trust me. It lets people trust me because like we have a common interest. So that's why I have all that stuff in there. That's my reasoning for that.
That sounds good. Yeah. Instead of just blank walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, feed the gods. Good evening, gents. Good to hear from you, Aaron, buddy. Local card collector. You can't control the addiction. You can only hope to contain it. True. Ed, Merlin, looks like your tan is close to George Hamilton tan. Not quite. I was using the SPF 50, Ed. I didn't get the golden baby oil going.
Interesting here. Okay, let me go through these comments here. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
A lot of comments.
Interesting.
I'm trying to read through as
we've got a lot, man. I saw so many popping up that we need to answer. Local card collector. If you get back into sports, I will have some stuff for you. But Dan, you do still buy sports, don't you? I guess the Mike Tyson PMGs count, don't they?
Yeah, PMGs. I buy PMGs still, sport PMGs, but I'm trying to get more into vintage sports, vintage baseball, vintage basketball, and then anything from the 1930s.
So what is the last vintage car you just purchased?
Sports related?
Yeah, sports.
I don't even know. I can't remember. I haven't purchased one in a while, but I'm looking. Yeah. Let's see here.
Okay, we'll get next here. CD Sports Cards. Partman has 250,000 followers. Oh, Pac-Man. He's talking about.
So yeah, I think those guys. I think those radio dudes probably thought I was Pac-Man, and that's probably why they put me up there with those guys. They mixed this up.
Charles, what's up, guys? Been a while. It's always good to hear from you, Charles. Can't wait to see you again, brother. Mm-hmm. Steve Dog, CC, you don't need a large following to be an influencer. You guys are influencers, but you don't force people to make decisions. Everyone has to do their own research. Thank you, Steve. That's what I was preaching.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Thank you, Steve. Exactly. Do your own research, folks. Seeking Slabs 808. Bobo equals unicorn. Hilarious. Still waiting for that unicorn to come out of the rainbow. Mm-hmm. Ed Ram. Beckett did the same thing in their magazines, but it's only suggestion.
Yeah. So again, people will put out information out there. People will put out content out there. And understand, guys, that it's mostly like 99%. It's for entertainment. Like we do this podcast between two slabs every week. We talk about all these different topics, whatever, but it's at the end of the day, it's entertainment. It's meant for you guys to kind of like, stay up to date on topics in the hobby and just kind of have something to listen to in the background. It's not meant for people to blindly follow our instructions and just do everything that we tell them to do. And honestly, I don't think that a lot of people do that. I don't think that a lot of people push this this narrative that influencers are telling me what to buy, and therefore, if it doesn't work out, I get to blame those influencers for my own decisions, right? I don't think a lot of people are believing that, but there are content creators out there, you know who you are, who do push that narrative, and I think that's just BS, and I think that we have to stop that because it's counterproductive to what we try to do, what we're trying to build in the hobby.
A collector's dream. It's the only card one-on-one condition does not matter. Thank you. Charles, love it. Rock Superfractor. Nat Turner of PSA said it's the top 10 graded card at the National, and that's probably why it was in the magazine.
Really? That's
what
high
makes it
praise.
A top 10 graded card?
That's high praise. That because I don't even think that. Sorry, Charles. I don't even think that's his best Superfractor, to be honest.
Oh,
okay. Because he's not
the National. It was, I guess, at the time.
He's not in his wrestling gear, you know. But that's just personal preference. No knock on you, Charles. Sorry, but yeah, that's high praise coming from Nat Turner for sure.
Wow. Purple Haze on a 1/1. I'm okay with just having it graded authentic. I guess you could do it.
There's a big debate about that where people just hate authentic grades.
They do, don't they?
You know me, like I don't mind it as much because if I'm putting a 1/1 in a slab, it's mainly just to have it in a slab so that it's preserved and it displays well. That's my main reasoning for putting my 1/1s. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care what the grade is. If it comes back a 10, I'm super happy and I'm going to put a premium on it. But if it comes back an 8, 9, it doesn't matter to me. And then let me just highlight this comment by Charles here.
Just remember that Lewis Hamilton 2020 Topps Finest Superfractor PSA 7 sold for $975,000 on Golden a few months ago. This was a Superfractor as well, 1/1.
That's the perfect example. The perfect example right there that the grades don't always matter for a 1/1. But if it's 10, of course, it carries a premium for that. But if it's a 7, 8, 9, I mean, it's a 1/1. What are you going to do? You know?
I mean, if you do you think if it came back to say a PSA 9 or 10, the price would have doubled?
No, I don't think so. I think.
Oh, you don't think so?
Because that was the first time that it transacted on that scale. So I think that was going to be the price no matter what.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was going to be the price no matter what.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would go any higher than that. That'd be crazy if it did.
I know, right?
Yeah, but it's not like they can say if it was a PSA 10, I would pay 1.5 million for it or something like that. You know what I mean? Let me see here. Okay.
City by the Bay. Oh man, read this, Dan. AEW Spectrum is dropping tomorrow, and no one even knows. I'm excited for AEW Metal come January. Ooh, AEW Spectrum. I see James in here. James Love. He's going to be in Dallas. James, are you going to carry any AEW Spectrum?
If they have
MJF
PMG, I'm going for that for sure.
Will that come out of the Spectrum? Do you
know
the
metal
checklist?
Metal.
The metal. Oh, that's right. That's the one that comes out January. He's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only in metal. Gotcha. Oh man, yeah, we'll have to get that, Dan. Whew. Charles, tons of scams everywhere. People are making fake accounts of all my Instagram accounts pretending to be me. What?
I saw that. He did post something like that. Why would you? I don't know what they're doing. Charles must have a secret life. Charles, are you sure you're not talking about your twin brother? Are you sure you're not talking about your twin brother making an account of you? Because I don't know why people are trying to fake his account.
Yeah, why does everybody want to be Charles?
Yeah.
Is it the Stacking Gems account too?
Yeah, they're trying to get his Stacking Gems. That's why.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's crazy, guys. We got to watch out. We got to watch out for each other too. So just be aware of that.
James, Merlin is set up in Dallas on Thursday. I think it's after 2 p.m., James. So I usually get there between around 3, 2 and 4, you know. Sean Johnston, just got into comics and I'm hooked. Have a few appreciation for your non-sports content. Thanks. And James, I also want to talk to you. James, will you be selling Star Wars Galaxy Chrome Series 2? Let me know.
Well, he can't. Well, are you talking about in Dallas?
No, just in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, comics are really cool. I'm definitely getting into more comics, especially the vintage ones.
I'm got some beauties, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna be buying some big vintage comics pretty soon. That's where I want to put some of my money. And And I'm really having a lot of fun going down that research rabbit hole and learning about these different comics. But I think don't be surprised if you start seeing me bring some slabs to the next couple shows.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me highlight this. Adrian,
Adrian, thank you, Adrian. The yellow super sticker. Yeah. Thank you for $20.
Adrian's always a big supporter of our content, so definitely welcome that and appreciate all the support you give us. So thank you for that, Adrian. Appreciate it. Adrian is single-handedly keeping this channel alive.
Adrian, thank you.
Yeah, with his weekly donation. So I guess we got to give him a plug. Go check out his YouTube channel. Adrian has a CV Sports Cars. His real name is Adrian. Really cool guy. Go check him out on YouTube. He's trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the year. Him and Merlin have a slap bet where whoever is the first one to get to 1,000 followers gets to slap the other person in public. So please support.
First it was the run around naked streaking thing.
That didn't work.
Slapping?
That didn't work.
Dude, I'm recovering from my neck injury. I'm not ready for that, Dan. No.
Up the ante a little bit. So
no, that's gonna hurt me for life, dude.
Whoever you like better, whoever you want to support, go follow them or follow both. Make some accounts and follow them. Help them out, guys.
Yes, I have 5-second gyms following me right now.
Yeah, there you go. And then also Adrian has an eBay store. So Adrian, if you want to shout out your eBay store in the comments, he's got a lot of cards.
Is it also CV Sports Cards?
Yeah, CV. I don't know what his eBay account is called, but you can shout it out in the comments.
Yeah, because mine's Mer World Cards, two words as well. If you want to check my stuff out. EJ, put the 1-on-1s in a nice slab mag. That's all that's needed. I guess Dan has put them in slab mags when they're raw, right?
Oh, yeah. You can put them in a one-touch, and they have an adapter here.
Had you sold a superfractor in a slab mag that was raw?
No, I never did it. All my superfractors have been
graded?
Graded, yeah. By the way, I think we can say this because who cares? Nobody's gonna really watch this part. Daps, our friend Daps pulled a superfractor Endor reflections on Endor. He pulled
that was the superfractor, the reflections one.
Yes, that lucky son.
Oh, wow.
The rich get richer. He pulled a superfractor. Can't believe that. So congratulations to him. I'm sure he'll be posting all about it pretty soon.
God, he's been pulling some yummies out of there.
Yeah.
Out of his boxes lately.
He bought as many boxes as he could get his hands on.
And do you know how many he's opened in the past few weeks?
I think he's got 30 boxes. And he
pulled all those goodies out of 30 boxes. Wow, that's pretty good.
Big cards, which makes me think that there's a limited amount of supply left on the market, unopened supply, and there's still a lot of big cards that haven't been pulled. So just kind of makes me think what else is out there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled another one, to be honest. The way that he's going,
really, and another superfractor.
I mean, he's got enough boxes. I think he's got a chance of doing it. So, but that lucky SOB pulled that.
And didn't he get a Kurosawa X-Fractor?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
yes, he did. So it's crazy. And those Galaxy cards are still having strong sales for sure. So he's probably super happy about that.
Yeah, the X-Fractor's numbered out of 10. So that's pretty rare. Just almost as good as the Superfractor. Andrew Lee, do you guys watch Andor? Yes, I haven't watched the finale yet since I've been on vacation, but I'm gonna watch it tonight after I pack.
Dan,
did you watch the finale?
Was that last
over?
Week? That's not.
I don't know. Am I jumping ahead?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, I am caught up on Andor. I do like it. It is different, but I like it. That is different.
Yeah, I really like it. I love it. My girlfriend bailed out halfway through.
It's like a I don't know, a suspense drama just set in Star Wars, universe basically, and I like that.
Yeah, it's very Hitchcockian.
I want to see different content that involves Star Wars, the Star Wars universe, right? So I like it. I'm a supporter of it. The first couple episodes are very slow. You could probably skip through a lot of it, but now that they kind of got to the meat of the storyline, I think it's very interesting. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, I really like it.
Real quick, let's talk about TV shows because
I was going to ask you.
Game of Thrones ended.
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. I think to me that's the best show of the year. Personally, I
We
thought
watched
that
the
was
finale last night, and
I thought it was
my
amazing.
God,
But
that
what pisses
was
me off,
jaw dropping.
what pisses me off about this is we have to wait like over a year for season 2 to come out.
I know they said 2024 season 2.
Why do they do that? It totally
They're going to
kills
skip
the
23,
momentum.
I guess, because all the effects.
It kills the momentum of the show because I remember they did this with the last Game of Thrones between seasons like 7 and 8 or something. There's like a year that went by. It's too long, right? It's too long. We need to have like one every like 6 months or something like that.
I guess HBO had doubted this was going to be a big hit or not.
Oh my God.
I guess that's why they didn't go straight into production.
It was like, it's if you guys haven't watched it, I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything like that, but it's one of the best shows of the year. To me, that show, The Boys season 3, those are like my top shows of the year.
Oh, really? Like The Boys too?
Yeah.
On Amazon Prime?
Yeah. I really like that show.
Yeah, it's a good show too.
So finished watching that. I finished watching Lord of the Rings, which was a big disappointment for me.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, big miss for me.
Really?
Especially when you kind of compare it to Game of Thrones because it's like the medieval, fantasy type storylines. Big miss. Did not like that show. Andor. I've caught up on Andor. It's a good show. It's not the best, but it's a good show.
And I think it's really good. I like it personally. It's different.
I started watching Cobra Kai season 5, which I think is cool. So that's entertaining for me.
Have you seen the Wrestling Territories on Vice?
Not yet.
I've been watching those. Very good.
So that's another thing. We live in a great age of television, guys. Like, you don't need to necessarily go watch movies or anything like that. You don't need live TV. You can just stream these shows and you could entertain yourself for days. So a lot of shows to catch up on, but every time I watch these shows, I think to myself, ooh, do they make cards of these? Can I collect some cards of these? So we might have to have like a weekly TV segment also where we discuss some shows.
No, right? Like pop culture TV segment.
Yes, because it fits in perfectly with what we talk about, pop culture cards, right?
Oh my God, it's so funny, Dan. You're reading my mind. I was thinking about this during vacation. Yeah. And you brought it totally.
We need a segment.
Read my mind.
Yeah, we need a segment. We need to come up with a creative name for it, what TV shows we like or something like that. So if you can think of a creative name for the segment, we'll start talking about shows that we like.
Did you see Severance yet? Did you binge it? You need to binge that, dude. It's so good. Much. But you should do it. It's easy. I watched it all. I think there's 9 episodes. I watched it in a week. It's that easy to watch.
To be honest, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't. Maybe like 1 hour.
Because you know why? Because he's buying too many toys, comics, and cards in his man cave.
The reason I don't watch much TV is I'm too busy posting reels on Instagram every couple hours.
I know. Right? He's got to post like every hour.
There's just so many good shows. There's so many good shows out there. I wish I could just like watch TV all day long, right? But I just can't do it with my schedule. But man, there's just so many good shows out there. The last thing I want to highlight is, I know you don't watch this, but Doctor Who, they had the Doctor Who series finale. And let me just tell you why this is so exciting.
I mean, there was a new season like this year.
So every time they change actors to play the Doctor, they have a show where they call it the regeneration show, right? Where the Doctor dies, his body regenerates into a new actor that plays the next couple seasons or whatever. And this is how they've kind of kept the storyline of Doctor Who
for the past 60 years.
For like 60 years, right? Because the actor will play it for like 2 or 3, 4 seasons or whatever. And the last Doctor it was a girl, and then she regenerated. And then the new actor that's playing the Doctor is actually the 10th Doctor. So they brought back the actor that played the 10th Doctor. His name is David Tennant, very famous actor.
David Tennant, yeah.
Is returning to play, I think that it would be the 14th or 15th Doctor. And that is very exciting to me because he's my favorite one. Like, I don't watch Doctor Who that much anymore, but David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, is my absolute favorite character.
When was he on it before? What
like
years?
2010 to like 2004 or something like that. I don't know.
Just not
a while ago. Yeah, it was a while ago he played it, but he was such a great version of the Doctor that made me really, really love that TV show Matt Smith is my second.
Yeah,
favorite
I was going to
Doctor.
ask you, isn't one of the House of Dragon guys
Yes,
former Doctor Who as well?
Matt Smith is Doctor, the
Damon.
11th Doctor, and
Damon.
a lot of people like him, but I didn't like him as much as I like David Tennant's version. But
Oh,
anyways,
wow.
he's the new Doctor Who, so I'm super excited for that. But we have to wait till that season shows up. It's never been done before where the same actor comes back to play again, so this is a big twist in the show. So I hope that they do something good with this.
And the last Doctor Who, was that the very first woman as Doctor Who or
yes,
not?
yes,
It
yes.
was.
Her name's
okay.
like Jodie.
So that
Jodie
was
Foster or
a
something like that.
breakthrough.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I might have to start collecting Doctor Who cards, guys. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Okay. And
Yeah, my favorite was it back when I was a kid, I would watch him on PBS. What's his name? Tom Baker? Right?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Like
the one with
the
the fro.
Oh yeah,
the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Doctor Who is a great series. If you guys like sci-fi, go watch Doctor Who. It's a great storyline.
Wrestle with Andy. Oh wow, what do you guys think of new WWE Impeccable? Some beautiful autos in there. Andy, I haven't got a chance to look at them yet. I really do want to see some and buy some myself. Check it out.
I like them. I like them. But I'm only collecting the ones that have like the portrait of the character and then a black and white portrait in the background of that. I think I have one here.
I have to check that out.
I'll show you guys real quick.
Okay. Is that me?
So this is what I'm talking about. These are the ones that I'm collecting. This is the Hulk Hogan version.
Oh wow!
I think style wise,
serial number too.
Yeah, style wise, they're really cool. This is a gold one. This is number 1 out of 10.
Oh wow!
The alpha version. So I've got a few of these.
So awesome
that I purchased. But it's cool. I like it. I like the high end wrestling cards, and I'm super excited. I hope that this does really well, and I'm super excited that hopefully they do like a flawless. If they do like a flawless, I'm going to spend big money on that.
You're going to buy the flawless box?
I might, or if anything, I'll be buying autographs, flawless on-card autographs, because this set has on-card autos and they look good.
Ooh, nice.
If you like the impeccable style of the cards, they're high quality. They look good for sure.
So that's a high-end premium series.
Yeah, set. I think it's like $400. I don't know how much a box is. $500, something like that. I haven't bought one, but I've been buying the singles.
And it probably only has like 3 packs in it,
like 5 cards or something.
Okay, like yeah. Andrew Lee, what's your ranking of these shows? The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor. Well, you've definitely got the Mandalorian in the right spot, and then I'd probably put
Obi-Wan 2.
You would?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I put
Andor next,
3,
I think.
3, and then Andor 4 for me.
I'd see Mandalorian, Andor, Boba Fett, Kenobi. There's parts of
Kenobi, the last one.
But that's it. I mean, that kind of it would have been a total flop if not for those last 2 episodes. Personally. Wow. And a lot of my friends agree with that.
Okay,
and we're all hardcore Star Wars fans too, but this is subjective, man.
Let's not turn this into what bends my corner.
That'll be another show.
Yeah, let's not turn this into what bends my corner statement. I'm gonna, because we've been going for a while, I'm gonna let that one slide. We'll talk about that next week.
But okay. Mandalorian's it's all by itself. Tier 1 all by itself, guys. EJ, thoughts on upcoming Star Wars Topps Chrome Black? Is this a buy? I don't know. I know very little about this. Dan?
I haven't seen it, but I will have a box, I think, that I'm going to be ripping. So I'll give you my opinions after I rip the box.
Yeah, and I see James said he will have some for sale in Dallas too.
Yeah.
Of this. What's it? What's the checklist? Do you know?
No idea.
Okay.
But I will have a box hopefully soon that I can rip for the channel, and then we'll see what happens there. Okay, so that's it. Let's wrap this up. We've gone pretty long. Let's do our plugs.
We have a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, let's do our plugs, guys. So anything you want to plug, Merlin?
Just go on my channel. Hopefully we'll have some stuff new. I won't have any time to edit anything right now until by tomorrow. So next week we'll have some new videos, hopefully. And then we're going to have a live from our last show for the Dallas of 2022. So make sure you subscribe to both Dan and I's YouTube channels and smash that bell button so you can be notified when we go live, because it's very spontaneous when we do these live shows at Dallas, because sometimes we do it before dinner, after dinner, but it's sometimes on Saturday night before we head up down to trade night. So make sure to smash that bell button so you get that notification that we're going to have Between Two Slabs live on Saturday night.
Yeah, so yeah, that's going to be fun. And then if you guys ever want to get like discounts on some of the things that you see me post on my Instagram page, I have negotiated discount codes with all the vendors that I promote on my Instagram page. So Slab Mags, Graded Guards, Phantom Displays, Zion Cases, Market Movers. I have coupon codes for all of them. So just check my story. I usually post that. But basically, the coupon code is usually always Curator. So check that out, and you guys get discounts on that. So we want to support them because they support us. And then just make sure you subscribe to Merlin and Adrian's CV Sports Cards YouTube page, because we want to see who wins the slap bet, guys. This is going to happen, okay? Slap bet. There's going to be 3 slaps involved for whoever gets to 1,000 first. So please support the one that you like the most, or support both, and then just see what happens, okay? Anything else, Merlin?
Rocky Top, like, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Gosh. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Go Bulls! Yeah.
All right. With that, we're going to end it. We will see you guys next week.
See you
later
Saturday.
We'll see you guys from Dallas.
Love you.